start off with the first question. Just your general thoughts on the game. General thoughts.
Good. Yeah, just super proud of everybody. I think it was evident that every single person on the floor stepped up and played their part. For one, I see Kenia coming out with 8 was just such a push for us. And it's when everybody gets points on the board is when we feel the best. When everybody's having a good time out there and getting some, it's when we're having the most fun. So just generally proud of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think a few shots didn't fall our way, missed some layups, but I'm really, really proud of the energy we brought and the way that we weren't frazzled or let different kinds of runs deter us. I thought we stayed playing together as a team and to the very last second. So I'm really proud of not just this game, but the whole season.
Yeah, I think too at the end of the day, it's one of those things where the ball might have bounced our way today, but I would take this team 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a game of runs. You came out, hot out of the gate, and it went back and forth. But just speak to that. I mean, going into halftime, coming out, it just seemed like BW coming out of the gate was just it was almost a tale of two halves. What do you do when they're on that run? Like what was the thought of kind of because you did have a couple rallies where you're coming back. How do you get yourself to do that as you're watching that lead shrink?
I mean, I think a big part of it is just the confidence we have in each other. On the bench, on the court, we're always saying, take that shot, be confident, and we trust each other so much. I think that's one of the ways that we really channel our energy there. Also, I've never seen us play this hard, honestly, and we were playing for our seniors, for each other, and unfortunately didn't go exactly the way we wanted. But
well, all of you are returning next year, correct? So. I mean, how do we take what you've been through in the last 2 days? We talked a little bit about it yesterday, building on going into today. But how do you build on what what you're taking from this tournament going into next year? Because you've got a great team. You've got a lot of great pieces. How do you build on that? Take what happened here and move into next season.
Yeah, I think that for us, it's taking this loss and learning from it, but also coming in with a chip on our shoulder for next season. I've never met a team that cares about each other. I said this a ton yesterday, but cares about each other more. And I can't wait to see what they look like when they have a chip on their shoulder. I don't know how scared other people should be, but I would be terrified.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just going to say, my dad actually said this to us when we were talking to him, but if this game and this weekend proved anything to us, it's that, if they're really if Baldwin Wallace is really ranked as high as they are, and all these teams that we're competing with are ranked that high, we can play with them, and maybe on another day we win that game. No diss them, they're a great team, but we can compete with anybody in the country, and we're returning everyone. So to come back next year and know that, and know last year proved that, this year's proving it again. To come back with everyone knowing how good we are and demand that kind of performance and that kind of respect from other teams too.
Having watched a lot of basketball, your dad's very right. So with that, I'll turn it over if you've got some questions you want to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, specifically to what you just said, never being around a team that cares about each other more. I mean, when you're going to lead a group into a season, and that's obviously what you want. Every coach in America will tell you that does not always happen. Can you just speak to the pride you feel when you look at this group and you're able to say what you just said?
Yeah, I think for me, so I took over this year. This was my first season, and I was very fortunate to walk into a team that loved each other. And I think the coolest part was that throughout my interview process, everyone said, oh, you have a special group, you have a special group, you have a special group. And to some people that means one thing, and to me a special group is just a team that's bought into each other. Winning is a bonus, right? The wins really come in the locker room. They don't know this, but I overheard them having a team talk before the game of the things they love each other, things they love about each other, how thankful they are for each other. And I literally was beaming with pride outside the locker room. I actually think I texted my friends and said, gosh, I couldn't be so more proud of a team. And this is literally what they're about, right? Some teams come in and they just want that fire, want that win. We come in with fire, but we do it together.
Mary, I was standing right by the tunnel as you know, you walked out after the game, and just, you know, you could see the emotion, obviously, and then, you know, as you came in, you know, here and kind of jokingly talked about your shooting tonight. I mean, kind of just talk to, I mean, the competitor's mentality of a game like this getting away and knowing that there were, you know, obviously there were points that you know, you left out there.
Totally. Gosh, going 13 for 37, I guess, wasn't really in my cards. I guess I wasn't expecting that, but I think after every missed shot, I would run back to get on defense, and every single person looked at me and said, keep shooting. And my dad looked at me after the game and said, it takes a lot of courage to keep shooting after that. And I think more than anything, I could have just kicked it out. But every single time, without fail, out of the 24 shots I missed, I've heard 24 times, keep shooting, you got this, we believe in you. Every shot you take is a good one. So it's when you're surrounded by 4 people on the court that believe in you and more than you believe in yourself. I mean, I just feel like the luckiest person in the world to be a part of a team that, you know, believes in me this much, even when I'm at my lowest. But I can remember when I was sitting in Ohio Northern in the presser 3 years ago, and they were telling me, what do you think for next year? You're a super young team, but it's like these 2 people have been by my side the whole way. So, like, I can't imagine a team without them, and luckily I never will have to, because we've got one more year together, and I've had 3 awesome years with them. So.
And then finally, I was going to say, Coach, what have you learned from this group? What have all of you learned from each other?
Yeah, I think the learning is just we really have to continue to buy into each other. I mean, that she just nailed it on the head. I think we all actually would have been mad at her if she started to just kick it out repeatedly over and over again. And that's the kind of confidence we have in her. And I think that stems from the work she puts in the gym, and her teammates that put in the work and caring about each other. And for us, it's just taking this and getting better. And I think, you know, there was a couple things that we could have stopped more with the one-on-one drives and a couple of box outs at the end of the game that I think we could have had. But really, there wasn't any specific thing that I'd be like, oh, wow, that was it, right? Like, it was just one of those games that we really could have made one, and they could have made one. I think it's one of those things that we just take it on the chin, and we get more hungry for next year with this young team. I think we were 8th in the country and 8th in the 64 top youngest teams in this tournament. And to make it to 32, it's like for them. So I'm new to the tournament, so I'm kind of a outlier here. They're vets, but for them, it's like going to 32 is so special to so many people. But to them, it's like, well, we need more. We could do more. We're better than this. And it's like, for me, I'm like, well, let's celebrate what we did, but at the same time, like, yeah, let's use that. Let's ride. Like, this is a team that can go to a national championship and take it home. I truly, to my core, believe that, and I have never spoken those words, I don't think, ever in my life.
Do you have any? All right. Well, with that, just I'll lead with this one. You know, because once again, 2 nights in a row, I'm sure I heard your parents behind me, because that was all your fans were behind you. 2 nights in a row, your fans showed out, and you know, I think it's been in that regard a special weekend, and that's I think it's a testament to basketball at our level. If you had anything that you could say to the fans who came out. You know, just not even just for tonight, because I gotta believe if you had that many fans here tonight, it's probably been like this all season. Speak to that, if you could.
I mean, I think I said this, we both kind of said this last night when we talked about it, but the support and like love that we get from our parents, our like teachers, other students, just like our community at WNL in general is so incredibly special. And I think that's part of the reason why like we're able to make such like good postseason runs. And I also think that's part of the reason our culture like within our team is really positive. Like it's not just like we're playing with each other who we're best friends with, but like we know all of each other's parents and like they support all of us. Like I know Quinn's dad literally texts us all the time with like film, and like Caroline's dad sent us a scout last night. Like it's like little things like that that make it feel so much more like a family. And that's like really, really special. I've been on a lot of teams my whole life, and that's something that's super unique and like something I'm really grateful and proud to be a part of here.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Sarah said, the family goes beyond the team. I think every single parent out there treats every girl on the team like their own daughter. And it is so easy to play when you feel so much love from the community and from the parents. Like, Riley Bryan's parents are out doing snack runs for us from in Oregon. And it's just, I've never been overwhelmed with so much. I guess they're just so proud of us. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I remember I told my mom and dad multiple times, but I wasn't planning on playing basketball in college until around midway through senior year, beginning of senior year. And I remember telling him at one point during college, I can't imagine a life where I never met these people. And this was beginning of freshman year. And then that's when they started like really buying in and getting to know everybody, because they just truly wanted to see like what was making my college experience. And so I think for them to be able to know and love them and take in the whole team. I mean, Miss Rain is the loudest and most supportive mother you'll get to know in the fan section. And, you know, to be able to have a pat on the back from every single parent means more than anything, especially when the ball doesn't bounce your way. They make you feel like you did play your best and you did put it all out there. So I couldn't be more grateful for every single one of them.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is too is that they're so willing. Like, they took me in as a first year head coach with open arms, and I've never felt more embraced and supported and cared about. I literally get texts from Caroline's dad, "Hey coach, this is what I saw, this is your help." I've been without an assistant. We've been without an assistant for the last month. And I think that the Bryant's going to get snack runs. Literally every single parent has emailed or texted me at one point to help me or to offer their support or just to reach out to my husband, who does the behind the scenes social media, to help us out. And, you know, it's really a family affair, like beyond the court. And I think that's just truly special. And it speaks to who these kids are as people.
Well, I think I speak for the room. Thank you for the weekend. I mean, it was, like I said, wildly entertaining, and thank your parents for us too. They did a great job.
Thank you.
Huge.
Thank you so much.